Let's talk about lunges. Quick little tutorial here. Before we even start, we just want to check in because our main intention with practicing a lunge or performing it day to day and throughout our day is basically like some sort of locomotion. We need a stiff, stable foundation to translate power from our hip, from our strongest muscles to do something. So stiff foundation, find the neutral, all the good things that we normally do, level hips, nice little brace, just the right amount so that we actually can push aggressively without flopping all over the place or hurting our back. Glutes are supposed to be the main driver, primary driver of our squat and of our lunge and whatnot for the vast majority of situations. And if you feel like a lot of the fatigue is building up in your thighs, possibly running through your knee, it's a good sign that you might want to activate the glutes a little bit more. So that's the main intention here. And we're going to start with the basic dynamic lunge, which is more like a warm-up, more like just feel good in the morning kind of thing. And whatever range is comfortable for you, you're just going to start to feel into those hips, feel into this active front glute, feel into maybe this long psoas on the extended leg, and move around here. Play with the knee steering a little bit. Play with the little bit of extension of the hip here, so you'll feel maybe a little bit of a stretch on the front. And with that tight brace, that might feel really, really good for your back, for your legs, opening up. Feel free to get a little bit more dynamic with this over time, stretching up overhead, especially with the opposite hand there. You really feel this whole length just open up. And that's a great way to kind of start your lunge, start your morning, start whatever, and get ready. Eventually working into maybe a little bit more range of motion, making sure that the work is primarily being done by the butt and not the thigh here. Woof! So the dynamic lunge, obviously undo the same thing on both sides like normal. I'm going to skip the other side for this video. How does that translate into more of a workout lunge? To help us keep our core structured, I suggest holding something. Also, it's heavier for the legs. Legs are really strong, so we can challenge them a little bit. For hypertrophy training, like muscle building, strength building, keeping it simple in a tight space, honestly, just holding this here and doing a little bit of range of motion, focusing on this being the primary driver of the movement. This is great. And you can do this for, your 60, 90 seconds, 120 seconds, and it'll feel pretty fatigued. Afterwards, just take a little shakeout break. Might be about 20 seconds before you go into your other leg. Same thing. All the things that we're thinking about here are the same as far as the glute drive. Extended side here with that little stretch feeling, making sure that no pain or whatnot is accruing around the patella. To make this a little bit more exciting, there's a few different ways. One is to try to reduce the support from the back leg, and so it ends up being more of like a one-legged squat thing. Your knees are going to be over. Everything's a lot more intense on the front leg here and on the thigh. So to try to do this with a glute-driven kind of elevator cables through the butt can be pretty darn challenging, but that's what we want, right? We want challenging. Just make sure that you don't try to bend your back in the name of getting closer to the ground for deeper range of motion. Not the pattern we want to accrue. So make sure that we're keeping neutral, like there's a rod keeping your back neutral, instead of the very common like flexy back thing, not the pattern that we want if we have sensitive back tissues in there. Another version, call it level 3, is to make it explosive in some way or another. Generally, we'll switch back and forth. And if you can do this without knee pain, that is a great sign. Here you might want your powerful exhale, in the beginning at least, to remind you to keep everything as tight as possible, or as tight as reasonable, so that you can translate that power from your legs to somewhere like this ball. And that's a very fun, very athletic version. To keep in mind, to translate this to walking most effectively, ball will kind of be on the front leg outside. Having a healthy lunge pattern is critical for getting up and down off the ground and moving, without re-injuring the back. So if you were on your back doing something down here and you needed to get up, we use our lunge pattern with our braced core to get up without making matters too much worse. So you may have to modify it for you, but the lunge will serve you athletically very, very well if you put your mind in your glute, in your level hips, in your core, and then maybe play with any sort of weight resistance to make it the right exercise for you today. Have fun.